Hey guys, this is Dmitry with Canucks and welcome back to another review. Before getting on with the review, like this video if you'd like to get your hands on this not yet released icon from Cooler Master, as we'll be giving one away shortly. Now back in 2010, Cooler Master basically stole the show with the release of the 692, a chassis that at the time moved the entire industry closer to all black interiors and modular drive cages, and was actually my very first chassis that I used to build myself a gaming rig. And today we're going to take a look at the latest addition to the very popular lineup. This is the 693. Released at $120, the 693 is entering a very competitive market, but Cooler Master sweetens the deal with an included water cooler, something we have not yet seen from case manufacturers. The exterior design resembles previous two cases with smooth curves and a chrome panel outline. Here we have a windowed version, which looks really clean, but a panel with fan mounts will be available. The rear side panel is also shaped to allow cable concentration right behind the motherboard that makes closing the panel really simple. And taking a look at the front, here we have three optical slots. The rectangular mesh is a nice change from circular and honeycomb designs, and the panel itself has a removable dust filter in the front. For intake, we get a large 200mm fan with support for dual 120s or 140mm fans. All the connections are still at the top, now hiding behind this plastic cover with PR buttons and 4 USB ports, 2 of which are USB 3. And I actually really like this pocket here to throw in some small items like USB keys or your phone, for example. But it is missing something that was included on the 692, and that's a hot swap bay, a feature that I really wish wasn't omitted. Now, nothing unusual at the back. We still have an exhaust fan, 7+1 PCI brackets, plus that single thumb screw to remove the top panel that also has a built-in dust filter and allows easier access to top fans for installation. As you can see, both 120 and 140mm fans are supported, and notice how close the 120mm fan holes are to the rear, meaning you might not be able to mount some radiators with tubing facing the rear, as you can see here, but rotating the rad and we get more room. I also would like to point out that the 693 stands on very large and rubberized case feed that is always a bonus, especially as it allows both the power supply and the optional bottom fan intake a little more breathing room. And to top it off, Cooler Master includes an easily removable dual dust filter at the bottom. Now, everyone loves a clean and large window panels. I personally love the look of the 693, and taking that off, first let's take a look at the drive caddies. I'm really liking what Cooler Master is doing with this modular design, as when fully collapsed it's an SSD bracket, but it's also backwards compatible with 3.5-inch mechanical drives by simply widening the bracket. In this state, SSDs are also supported, so we still have a bit of flexibility here. Now, the reason to this modular drive bracket is the drive cage itself, as the outside wall can be relocated to support more mechanical drives. This is done with a few screws with no hassle. You do compromise on GPU compatibility at this state to 10.5 inches, while gaining an inch at stock configuration. The cage wall also supports a single 120mm fan to help with airflow delivery, and another 120mm fan can be installed at the bottom. Cooler Master also recognized that this spot can be perfectly utilized for extra drives, where you can mount either for extra storage. Now, of course, it wouldn't be a 2013 case if the entire drive cage wasn't removable for front water cooling. Everything removes with ease, and a 240 or 280mm radiators are welcome. The bottom drive cage can also be repositioned slightly back. That allows extra 2 inches of clearance, perfect for a radiator without totally compromising on drive storage. This also doesn't affect power supply compatibility, as over 25cm is available. Now, turning the case around, one thing that should strike you are missing rubber grommets, but we have received a pre-production model and we've been notified that the retail version will feature rubber grommets. Now, Cooler Master certainly takes cable management seriously with the 693, with many cable tie mounts and a fairly large cable cutouts as well. And while there isn't much room to work with for spacing, the rear side panel is shaped this way on purpose to allow thinner chassis footprint without compromising on cable management. There's also an additional SSD slot behind the motherboard, which are becoming very common and very useful. And beginning with the assembly, this certainly brings back good old days when I had to read the manual on what to do with the motherboard standoffs or what to install first, but I am a little disappointed that we don't have any cutouts right underneath the motherboard, making routing of all the front panel connectors a little bit more difficult. I just wish that after 3 years, Cooler Master would not forget about the small details that makes assembly a lot more user-friendly. But then mounting in our GTX 590 and cleaning it up, the 693 looks totally fine, and even at the back, turn the case around, cables are easy to maintain, so really nothing negative to say about the assembly. And coming back inside, top water cooling is certainly an option with 3+ inches of clearance, and I remember doing my very first water loop inside the 692, which was totally awesome. And I will conclude by saying that I'm a huge fan of the 693 due to functional interior, innovative drive caddies, and the modular drive cage system. That beautiful side panel window is a bonus with a cooler included. All for $120 is a pretty decent package. That is, of course, if you are in need of a cooler. My only critique with this tower are missing cutouts underneath the motherboard. I work with a lot of cases and this was something that is very helpful for cable management. But other than that, I am pleased to say that Cooler Master has released another damn good case, and given the value with the included cooler, it turns out to be a damn good value case as well. Now, we are unaware of pricing for case only, but it should strike somewhere below the $90 mark, which would make the 693 even more competitive. And as I mentioned earlier, we'll be giving away this tower, so help us reach 1000 likes by sharing this video, and we'll see you in the next one.